Yeah. I heard Melissa said it's nice there.
It's a lot like the one downstairs, a little smaller. And, they're busy, which is good. So they have like the employees in the building and across, so.
All right. Hey. What is it?
I thought
Oh my
the
God.
branch opening here.
Fisher's Lane.
Yeah. I told them it was nice, yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. It was good. We had a lot of people there. So okay. So anyway, so we want to get back to our conversations and kind of figure out what we want to do. And so last time we spoke, we talked about a couple of different options and things that we should do, and so I kind of want to get an idea. What are your thoughts? What would you like to
Okay. First of all, my thought is, why should I take this option? Because none of those options justify this problem that I have. Yeah. I'm being the victim here, and those options are, how should I put it? Silently pushing me away without resolving anything, without giving me any justice. Mm-hmm. So I don't see why I should take those options.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
Well, I don't know. That's what you're the one that have the authority. I only want a simple life, simple job, just like everybody else. Just minding my own business, doing my job without anybody mentally attacking me or pulling tricks to attack me.
Yeah.
So I've been addressing this for over a year now.
Right.
Nothing is happening, and up to recently, something came up again.
Yeah.
The most recent one is the project that Arrow went to the branch. They known that project. Okay. Arrow and John, they know that they are the one who's doing that project. Nobody communicated with me at all until they started the project somewhere down the road. Okay. Okay. Because that directly impacted me. Arrow know that I call him every day to go to lunch. He never communicated with me with this project once until he called me and said, "Oh, I need help on this, blah blah blah." Right. And the second thing is, John is well aware of I am solely on the help desk. I cannot go to lunch without somebody taking over of me. Right. And they did not make any arrangement for that up until I brought it up to him. Eventually, I emailed him. That was close to the end of the project. Right. And it took 3 emails for that to take in effect. Right. Basically, it's totally simply like he's ignoring me. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's no such management. If anything come related to me, they just seem like I don't exist. Yeah. They don't care. Okay, basically my job is just cover all the help desk. And the most recent one was, and that was last week. Arrow received some complaints about I'm not picking up the help desk, and they should well know that I'm the only one. So if I answer one phone call, I'm not going to be able to answer the other phone. Mm. And so he wrote an email, kind of in a way. At the end of the email, he wrote that he made a suggestion for me, but I did not want to take it. But in a way, when he put it, it's more like attacking me. Yeah. Okay. So. And then at the very last one, we've been talking back and forth the email. I have the email for you. Yeah. He said that we did not have, between me and him, we did not have any communication breakdown this bad until I moved out the IT space. I've been moving out the IT space for, 2-3 months now, right? Or more than that. Yeah. Okay? And he's well aware of that. So why he's saying that communication breakdown at this point, when he's more experienced than I am. He worked longer than I am. He's more seniority than I am. His title is a team lead, and he's putting this how amateur that is. Okay, so are you telling me that? And John is well aware of this email. This has been CC Charlie and Tom. Yeah. Okay, and John wrapped up the solution was. Just give me a guideline of the help desk. Right. Of a more clear guidance of the help desk. That's it. No action taken on miscommunication or lack of communication whatsoever. So that's my point being, everything related to me, they ignore me totally. And That's my point. I'm doing the best I am to support everybody. I like my job. I do my job. Okay. I don't want anything else. I'm not fighting with anybody.
Yeah.
So why don't they just back up and let me do my job? And that's why I'm presenting to you. I'm asking you for your help.
Yeah.
And I don't see those 3 options that help me. Those 3 options that you gave me, basically, I see the way it is. It's just simply I'm backing out and silently walk away.
Yeah.
And I am seeking for justice. I'm not seeking for anything else.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, because we've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about it. We've been thinking of, there's really only a couple options, right? There's no other job in the credit union that matches your skill set that we can justify your compensation, and we just don't have anything else out there, right? Other than with help desk or IT. So, so it's either, really then it sounds like you go back to IT.
I'm fine with going back to IT.
Okay.
My problem is, what action are you going to take to give me justice? Because I'm going back to IT. I'm working. I'm fine. I've been working. I don't have a problem working.
Right.
Okay?
Timmy, can you explain to us so we understand clearly what you mean by justice?
Okay. So, if I do something wrong, maybe it's just a little wrong or whatever, the whole thing going to like way higher. What do you call that?
Escalated. Yeah.
Yeah, and to like whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, right now, just the most recent example, it's been 2 months. Notification from John and Arrow. They are more higher ranking than I am. There's nothing done to them. Okay. And in turn, when there's maybe only 1 complaint that I did not pick up the help desk, they send out to Arrow send out to John, CTO Charlie, and Tom.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the deal with that? That's why I mean by justice. Why am I being attacked like that?
Right. Well,
are they discriminating against me or what?
Mm-hmm.
Because I see that as a discrimination.
Yeah, and you think it's because you think that small mistakes are being made a big deal.
Yeah.
And they are big, and so these are the types of mistakes that others would not be held accountable for.
Right. And this mistake, and this is not even a mistake.
What was the mistake?
This is not even a mistake.
Okay.
Okay. I am on the help desk. Since John assigned me the help desk and gave me the full responsibility of the help desk, I've been picking up phone calls, primarily me. So usually I forward to my cell phone.
Right.
And sometimes people call me directly on the line. So that's two alternative phone that they can reach me.
Right.
Okay. So when I answer on one line or on the cell phone, I cannot pick up the other line. That's what it is. That's not even a mistake.
Right.
Regardless of how emergency the other person is. If I'm on the cell phone, it's hard for me to switch over.
Right.
If I'm on the other line, it's rude for me to tell the person, hold on, pick up the phone, find out if that person needs my help more than you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that you're calling me, I'm working with you, Heather called me, and I say, oh, let me put you on hold. Let me talk to Heather first. If I talk to Heather, I will ask Heather, do you have a member in front of you? And if they say no, okay, I'm sorry, I'm on the other line.
Okay.
So that's the deal with this.
So you're talking about having support staff, like backup support staff when you're on the phone.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the nature of the job, okay? And I'm talking about this little incidents. They're making a big deal out of it while they are making other mistakes as well. How come I don't see anything from them? And they are picking on me directly, attacking me.
Yeah.
So that's why I mean by justice. Why am I being the one who's always being attacked?
Why do you think that might be the case?
Because Charlie is retaliating against me when I define the network administrator. Since that, I never had this problem before that. Since after I defined that decision, things have been starting like this for up until this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been trying to address. Because I'm being retaliated against the whole department.
Because you declined that position because you didn't get the increase that went along with it. So you're going to get an increase, you're going to get a better position, and then it's like, oh no, guess what? You're only getting the better position but no increase. And you said, well, thanks but no thanks. I'd rather just be
Right.
paid. Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Then okay. So it sounds like you wanna go back to IT, and that's what we're gonna have to do. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work. That's what because we talked about all the other different options, and those clearly are not where what you want to do. Understood. So we will work with we're going to work with Charlie and with John, because part of the problem is that you're not because you're reporting to someone else, the communication might be.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I only report to Tom as an HR related.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with IT technical aspect at all.
Okay.
So I only involve Tom when
I
there are
think,
things like this.
if I can just share, when they did kind of the review from when the instance occurred in the past, they changed everything where, they didn't want me involved, certain parties involved, and they gave like someone who was new, to help and support Timmy.
Okay.
Okay, during the process. The challenge is it's been prolonged for some time of not changing back. He's kind of been there since.
Even if I move in the room or I sit outside the room, that has nothing to do with communication breakdown.
Yeah.
I mean, we all are adults. This is the modern age. We communicate by email, by telephone.
Well, let me just ask you. All right, so we all own our situation, in my opinion, right? I take responsibility for the fact that I'm here. I'm taking responsibility for, it's really comes back to me. It's the way I look at life, right? And 99% of the time, there are some situations maybe it's not less. Okay. So, if you were, I think you would see that you'd hold yourself accountable is what I'm trying to say. Knowing the situation that exists back there and the way it exists today, what do you think you can do to make your situation better?
Okay, I've been trying to make my situation better.
Okay.
But they keep attacking. I've been keeping myself.
But hold on a second. You just went back. I want you to go back to Timmy, all right?
Okay.
You just deflected me here. I said, what can you do? And you said, I've been doing everything, but then you went right back to them. I'm asking, what can Timmy do to make this better when you go back to IT? What three things? What are three things that Timmy can do?
Okay.
Don't say anything about I'm the victim or whatever. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna own this situation because I can consider myself a victim in a lot of different situations, and I'm not saying that you're holding yourself accountable, but I'm just saying what things can you do that you own that would make it go really well? And we're gonna look back on this in a year and say, hey, guess what? Timmy took control of this situation and managed the situation, and now it's all good. What things do you think you can do?
First of all, being a starter. That's something I can do because I don't have that authority, that ranking like they are.
Okay.
I'm the lowest one in the IT department.
Okay.
Okay, consider ranking.
Okay.
Okay. Second of all, my job interfere with a lot of people in the department. I'm the first line of defense. So anybody contact me, I would be okay. So what's your problem? Blah blah blah. And then either I take it or I route it to another person.
Okay.
Okay. I don't involve with project. So like the French PC project, I don't involve with it. Actually, I did involve it, but nobody's saying anything with it.
Okay.
And I don't need to take credit for it. Example on how I involved with it. Arrow was the one who's doing the French PC project. He did not remember on how to use the application to grade the computer.
Okay.
Okay. So he asked me help on that.
All right.
And he and I are both not using that for this at the same length. I had to fiddle around a little bit. I showed him, and then when that thing breaks down, he did not know how to fix it. I'm the one who fixed it for him.
Okay.
Without me fixing that, his French PC project would be, delayed for. I don't know how long that would be.
Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. You're going down. You're not
That's what I'm adjusting. That's what I'm trying to adjust. I don't need to do anything except do my job. What they need to do
No,
is...
hold on. See, here's where you're wrong, okay? Because what you just did was you just described what you were going to make. You're doing your job. You're not the way this credit union, efficient credit unions or effective credit unions work is that the relationships are built. People have trust, and they respect people, and they respect each other, okay?
I don't see that.
Okay, right. See, that's where, okay, so what I'm really asking you is, how can you create a respect and trust with the others in that team? Because that's where the problem is that they, what's happened is they see you as, he's going to write an email to Mr. Berkowitz, to the board, to say how bad it is, and he's going to try to cut me off at the knees. I can't trust him, all right? So you kind of own this situation, in my opinion. I'm sorry to say that, but I feel like you kind of, you own this. And so what I'm asking you is, what are things that you can do to build a relationship with people back there that don't trust you anymore? And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I can see where they're coming from, because if I had someone who I worked with, and I don't know all the situation, I really don't, all right, but if I had a situation where I was well, I'll just use Heather and I, okay, so Heather and I are working on something, and then I see an email, and we didn't see eye to eye, and she felt that I absolutely did something completely wrong, right? And maybe I did, right? I probably did, all right? But she's like, I got to let someone know. So she sends an email to the board of directors, right? Okay. I get that email, and I'm like, oh my God, she's out to get me. I can never trust her again. How could I ever trust her again? Because she didn't come to me. And maybe she did on multiple times, but by doing that, I've created a bad situation. It's almost, I don't know if it's even repairable, but so what I'm looking for is how you, Timmy, owns this problem. You own your life. You own it. And how can you own to get the trust of your teammates who are back there, that are like you, trying to get the right things done, want a job, want to make the organization successful, so they can provide for their families, so they can have health care benefits. What do you do to gain trust? Not show them, not do their projects, not do their whatever. This is a really important question, so I'm really interested, if you want to think about it, but I mean, how do you gain trust in someone? What would you do?
Okay, first of all, I had no experience in that. But what I can tell you upfront is, you gain trust with someone by doing all your responsibility, okay?
Okay.
And helping out the other people, the person within your limit that can need help.
Okay.
Okay, which I always do that, okay? Not that I have not done that, I always do that.
Right.
Second of all, if there's a problem, you address it within the department, okay? If there's a problem, you address it within the department.
Okay.
Okay, and taking back to your scenario, you are halfway wrong, halfway right.
Okay.
Your scenario is not fully applied to my scenario. My scenario is when the email, I did not email to the board until nobody will respond, because all the problem that was addressed.
Right. Okay.
There has been manager including in there. Everybody in the IT department in there, including Charlie. And Charlie told me that he read every single email that has been CC'd him, but he did not take any action. So if Charlie remains silent, and also one more thing is at one point somewhere down in the past, I don't remember.
Yeah.
He told me, or somebody that I heard, that I believe he told me, but where it's like a friendly talk or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay? Not maybe this is even before the problem started. He told me that you cannot win with the manager. You cannot fight with the manager. Okay. So just lately, I remember that for somewhere coming from him. So are you telling me that
win with the manager? What is that? I don't. Okay.
So like this dispute. If there's a dispute with your manager,
right,
you cannot win because your manager will always win.
Okay.
That's why he meant. So let me tell you, I did all the possibility that I can gain the trust. I emailed to people that are related to have the authority within the department, and nobody responding to that. Their way of responding is very vague, not answering you straightforward.
Right.
Okay, and then just let it pass on.
Yeah.
So how are you going to fix that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at one point, I remember the last time I met you.
Let me ask you this. Well, why would you want to go back there then if that's the situation?
I'm not going back to that situation, but.
Then what are you going to, all right, so then what would you do to make it so it's not that situation?
Well, this is not the matter of what I do, because truly speaking, I'm not doing anything. I'm just staying in one place. I'm just doing my job. I'm not looking at anybody, not talking to anybody else. Let's just say that, okay?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. What about sometimes you know, when you approach a situation, I don't know, I was going to give some...
I was going to share an example with you. Like,
okay.
Let's say, like Rick had mentioned about the scenario with us, okay? He mentioned that. At the same point, I need to still work with Rick one way or another. So even if he's not happy that I went to the board, okay, I still have to work with Rick. That's part of my job. Right. Because if I can't, everything's dysfunction and it affects my job duties, okay? So in other words, a lot of times when something occurs, to earn trust, first you have to be able to, let go of the past and say, okay, it's a new day, we're going to move forward.
Okay, can I pause you for a second?
Sure.
I'm not going to let go of the past because I still seek justice. But as a professional, like I mentioned to you earlier, Errol's been doing the project. Why should I help him when he asks me? Because I am responsible, because I am professional. I show him how to do the work. So I am being professional. If it's related to work, I can work. Right. I have communicate. If I don't communicate with him, I'm not going to send him an email or call him every day when I go to lunch. I'm just going to go to lunch, forward the help desk to him, and eat my lunch. Who cares? I don't care. But I have to do that every single day. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to tell you, and that's your scenario. I am able to work even though there are disputes. I'm not going to forget what they did to me because they're trying me mentally, they're affecting me mentally. I am being stressed. I had to go to, what do you call that? Psychologist. Yeah, psychologist, just to release all the stress. Okay? So why should I let go of something that they are doing wrong to me? But as a professional, I am doing my work. And again, like I said, I am helping out if they need my help within my limits. But before they ask me out of my limits, how are you expecting? Okay, let's say the whole scenario started. I'm a junior level. I know the senior level work.
Right.
Okay. I declined the senior level work.
Right.
And they still want me to do senior level work. That's kind of like how the whole scenario started out after I declined the position. So
they were kind of complimenting you that they wanted you to take on a higher level, right? They were complimenting.
No, they're not. Because if they are complimenting me, that would be different. They kind of forcing me to do it because they say that I'm actually assuming that I am accepting the job. Okay, even if I accept the job, I have the right to decline the job. Right at the day that it's officially announced or officially accepted me, right?
All right, let me go back to what Heather was saying because I think where you were going with this, if I could just, if I'm not correct, but it's, if in that scenario, it was, so things happen and you have to kind of let things go, and then there's a way that sometimes it's good to, it would be maybe, to acknowledge, look, ugliness happened. I want to let that go. I want that to go away. This is a new day. I want to, I want a fresh start. I want to, let's, can you give me a chance here? Let's get let's take another chance, or not a chance, but let's have a new start together on me back here, and forget that. I know you said you can't forget it, and it's probably hard to. You probably really can't, but let's put that behind us and move on. And I want to try to, I want to make things better. Me, Timmy, I want to make things better. And when you're working with John, you can say, John, how can I do that? And ask him and see what he says.
Okay.
Right?
First of all, why should I ask John, how can I do better when I always do everything better within my limits? Second of all,
well, hold on. All right, you're asking me one question, okay? Because then you get to understand what your manager's expectations are. that he's going to say, you know what, I want you to do this, this, and this. Or you're going to say, I'm professional, I'm going to work really hard, and I'm going to do this, this, and this, right? And you're going to think in your mind, outstanding, I am doing a wonderful job. But you screwed up with what John's expectations are. He might, instead of going over there, he wants you to do this. And then when you do that, you meet his expectations. He's happy because you're taking stress off of his life, and he's going to say, hey, Charlie, this is a new Timmy. You should see what he's doing.
First of all, let me ask you, why should I want to take stress off John's life when something that is above my limits? So if you're saying that, okay, let me give you an example. Okay, my role right now is just primarily helpless.
Okay.
So if, like you say, I go ask John, okay, how should I work with you again on this? Okay, I'm willing to do that. Okay, I have no problem. Okay, let's say that. Okay, and then you say, oh, how do you say that? By starting or for starter?
For starter.
For starters, yeah.
For starters,
yes,
okay.
For starter. Let's say that you take over the FICS system, which is the mortgage application that Arrow has been doing, because you're the one who actually worked on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you, that is the position of the network administrator. Again, I am not the one who's making the problem, so why am I asking other people to work with me, even though, okay, I'm willing to do that, okay, I don't have any problem with that, but if the problem continues from the other side, how do you resolve it? Let's just say that you and I, we have a fight, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I say, okay, you say, okay, I'm not going to fight you. I'm just going to walk away. But I'm continue to chase you and beat you up constantly, punching you in the face and stuff like that.
Well, that's unacceptable.
Right.
That's not. We're not gonna. That's when
No,
we have.
but that's my scenario, because
Right.
they are not doing that physically, but they are doing that mentally.
Okay.
Can you hold on a second? I'm just going to tell them we'll have to call
Okay.
Hi, this is Heather. We're still in a meeting. We're going to call back or call you back shortly.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So what I'm trying to prove is they are constantly mentally attacking me.
Yeah.
Okay? And I've been working out here for a couple of months. Everything is fine. Okay. Why isn't just one small complaint?
Just forward it, or can you?
Hi, we're in a meeting. We're going to call you back shortly. Sorry.
Sure.
Okay. Just one small complaint.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one who received that complaint. Arrow has been received that complaint too.
Okay.
People complain to me. I told them I have no authority. You need to complain. Bring it up to Arrow directly. Don't tell me. Okay. Or tell his manager. I don't know anything. Okay. So I'm not the only one who gets complaints. He gets complaints too. But I'm covering his back.
Yeah.
Okay. So why is just one small complaint and he making such a big deal? Isn't that obviously that he's attacking me? He's using that to mentally attacking me. So that's my whole point here. From starting to up to now, I did not try to attack anybody. I'm working on the same thing.
Yeah.
And they keep picking on little things like that, and they mentally attacking me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I cannot use a scenario that fit the situation. That's why I'm using a physical scenario.
Okay.
Somebody constantly beating you up.
Right.
You just gonna have to fight back, and you can't take it anymore, and you have to beat up the guy or something.
Yeah.
So I guess our concern is, because what's best for you with your skill set is to work for IT. And that's your job.
Yes.
The challenge is we want to make sure for everybody's benefit that it's a positive going forward. So in other words, if you go back to IT, we want to make sure that you're happy, managers are happy, and the focus is producing the IT results needed.
Okay.
So what I think Rick put out is, to make it better, what are your expectations? Like, could you give us 3 things that are important for you that, you know what, I come into work and I'm happy because this is now happening where it didn't before?
Okay.
Maybe for managers, let's say.
Like I said, I'm fine doing my job. I understand the nature of the job. The job can change it, whatever.
But how about managers? What would you like from a manager?
Managers, they need to be clear, precise of what they are saying. They don't just give me in the jungle answer, think whatever you think, or interpret this whatever the way you like. Okay, I give you those emails, and those demonstrate that's how they answer it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the one that I gave you, the reason one of what relate to lunch. I asked John, so what is arrow? Is arrow still on the help desk? If they say yes, then that's a different approach. If they say no, then it's a different approach. He did not answer me at all. He said, you're only on the help desk. Arrow is only arrow is only a backup when you need him to. I have no idea what's happening. Okay, I'm considered on help desk. If I am answering a phone call, how can I call arrow or email arrow when I'm trying to concentrate thinking on resolving the problem? So how can arrow be my backup? Unless.
So that's like backup and support,
Yeah,
especially
backup.
when you're on call. You need support.
I'm always on call because that's the role that they give me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing you had mentioned was clarity, like maybe better communication.
Well, yes, of course. Communication in terms of clarity
Right.
and precisely.
Okay.
Task clarity.
Yeah, task clarity or whatever clarity. Anything
Okay.
that related to me. For up to this point, I can say I can be unprofessional and say I don't care what happened to you. If anything relates to me, just let me know. Okay, I can care less. Okay, because that's the way it is. And then it's not like I am making that the way it is. They're the ones doing that, and they're the ones making that.
Okay. So you want task clarity, you want ability to, you want support, right? What other things would you expect from John?
Okay, well, I would say it's hard to say, but I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
Maybe like the tone of voice, if there's a problem or something. They always say, if there's a problem, let's sit down and talk. They never do that to me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Do they do it to others?
I don't know,
Okay.
but I don't see anything happen.
Okay.
And if something big happening, I don't see anything. That's what I meant. And with me, a lot of things they're making such a big deal, and they're using the way they say it. I am interpreting as they're attacking me. Maybe I'm wrong because I've been having such aggressive feeling about them. So maybe I'm wrong. But maybe I'm right because the way they are writing or even saying verbally, whatever, it's like, hey, why you do this? You're not supposed to do this, or whatever. If I point to you, hey, why you do that? What are you gonna say? And then and just that and okay. Another thing is when I'm taking sick leave, John didn't write in this email. He said that Tony, because Arrow was working on like it, Tony had to step in and cover for me, as if he created a scenario that it's all my fault that Tony had to cover for me, and I'm the one who's holding the burner for everybody. Okay, first of all, we always know that. Okay, if somebody leaves, that means that they have to leave. That's you don't blame this, right? How if you blame this, you send out an email ahead of time or something.
Right.
Okay, and second of all, you're an IT manager. You should talk to other IT managers to allocate the resource. If you don't do that correctly, you have a problem. I don't have a problem. Why are you putting your problem, making it look like me?
Right. Okay, so this is what I think we should do is, as things happen, you feel like you're being singled out or you're being treated differently, you need to talk to Heather, right?
Oh, I spoke to Heather a couple times.
He's very good with coming to me.
That's right.
If it gets to a point of he doesn't feel he's being treated fairly,
Right.
he's been very good about coming
Okay, good.
forward.
So then
and same with Tom in the past. But
Okay.
And basically, I'm not saying that you did not do anything, but I'm saying nothing happened. Okay.
So okay, well, so that's your we of course, if something's happening that's not, you're being treated differently, that's not allowed. You can't do that. I mean, and I understand, and I'll make sure that that's addressed right away. And I know Heather will make sure that, we know, or I know about it too. So, but I think sending emails out to everybody, about your, frustrations, that can't happen. I mean, that's not something that, you need to go to the person that can make a difference. Sending an email to all employees or whatever. I know that's what happened, I think, a year or so ago.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay,
because the person who can make a difference doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He's just sitting duck.
Right. Well, you do. I have someone here that makes. I'm.
You're the one. You're the one who can make a difference.
So, right.
But the one who's in charge of IT does not make any difference. He's sitting duck there.
Yeah.
He does nothing.
The biggest thing we need to do, which you've been very good at in the past, is we want to make sure that going forward, if it doesn't work, try with manager. Because I always tell you that, go to manager.
Right.
Right. Or I always say go to Tom.
Okay.
Okay. If it doesn't work and it gets worse, then you need to come to me.
Okay.
Right? If it gets to a point where there's concern, where it's not fair or poor treatment, I take it immediately to Rick. Okay. And we follow that process. Okay. Because any type of email to all the public, we want to keep this within the parties involved.
I understand that. I always understand that.
Right.
But the party involved does not do anything.
Right.
And up
I
until
understand the past, yeah.
Since Tom was assigned to me, I'm sorry, I have to use that. I don't have to use it. Okay. Do you guys send any public email? I always send it to Tom and you only. Right. I am very professional.
And we know that. We just want to make sure it's clear, clear. That's all.
So if nothing happened, then I have to let everybody know, so whoever have the authority or whatever can help me with it.
And he's been good going to Tom. He's been good.
Okay. The one thing that I would really suggest, and you don't have to take anything you want with it, but I think that if I were in your situation, what I would do is I would make it a point to go to John and say, John, all right, things didn't go down the way I wanted them to a year ago. Things are changing in the credit union. I think it's got a different future than maybe it did a year ago. There's, and if you don't believe that way, then I would say things are looking different for the credit union. I would like for us to try a fresh start together, and I want to do what I can to make this organization better. I want a fresh start, and I acknowledge some things were done and said and all that weren't the greatest, but I'd like to move forward with you in a different way.
You could also mention that it's important for you to be successful by saying, I need really good communication. I need task clarity. I want to be treated fairly. I need support and backup sometimes.
I'm going to say one thing really quick. I wouldn't say treated fairly, just because then you're saying that he's not treating you, because you're already saying that you're treating.
But you want to be part of the team, is what I meant.
Yeah. Just say, Just say, look, I want to. If you could just help me understand what you want and what we need to do. I'm here to support you and Charlie, and I want a fresh start. I would really like a fresh start. And I think that will go, a long way. And I don't, if you really want to change it, say, I own some of this as well. I think I've owned some of this situation. I acknowledge it, but I want to move forward with you.
I am willing to do that. I'm willing because, like you said, I am and as me, as myself, I like to make the organization better.
Yeah.
So my question for you directly, not related to the IT team, what can the organization does for my loss in my team, my stressful, that I have been going through this more than a year now?
Mm-hmm.
What can the organization does for me? What can you do for me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my question directly to you, not related to the IT. Because,
Okay.
Whenever you send, I think stuff like that coming in.
Right.
So I'm just this session.
Right.
Making a fresh.
Right.
What about those people that done wrong to me? And even if a investigator came in, seen the result from the external investigator.
Well, hold on. Okay, here's my answer to you. So I'm listening to you.
Okay.
I'm hearing you out. I'm spending a lot of, a good quality time with you to hear your concerns, to genuinely be concerned about your concerns, right? That's what I can do. It's all I can do, and I think that, and understand, your position, and to make sure that your rights are protected, your ability to come here and work hard and get ahead and and be able to make the credit union better is protected. That's what I can do for you.
Okay.
And that's one reason Rick had mentioned different options for you to guide you, just to give you ideas that, people, when they're in their position, you want to come to work and be happy working. There's just different options that we have to figure out what's best for you that you're comfortable with.
Okay.
Okay.
I really think that, if you were to do that, in fact, you might even want to consider pulling Charlie and John together and just say, I know this is going to be hard, but I think that you can fix your situation. You own it.
And HR can support it. I can be there because I know that makes maybe you feel comfortable if I'm there. I'm willing to be there. We do that a lot with the managers.
But I think in this particular situation, I think if Timmy did this by just him and Charlie first, to see how it goes, and just so that they heard from you an honest, hey, I want to make it better. I want to be a part of the team. I want to, like we were just talking about, I think that will go somewhere. I think it will. I think you should try that. I don't know, but
I do listen to you, okay? But let me ask you this. From my interpretation, what they are trying to do is they are trying to drive me crazy. They are trying to get me into the official faulty so that they can fire me.
The what? The official what?
The official reason. So, whatever, performance, bad performance, whatever, so they can fire me.
Oh.
Okay. So if the whole department or the whole manager level there trying to get rid of one person, that person has no authority, and he's being struggling to hang on, okay? Trying to find some justice. And if you come back and you say, okay, let's start from fresh, do you think that they will do that? They will agree with that person? And when they are trying so hard to get rid of that person, and yet they still cannot. Do you think so? Obviously, I don't think so. I would think I'm sorry, I have to be unprofessional. I'm just saying, oh, you're just a sucker. I can get rid of you anytime. I have the power.
Right.
But no, I cannot get rid of you. I'm like cussing out and stuff like that.
Right.
So do you think that it's going to happen?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I really don't know. I
don't know either.
I guess I can't say this for much. I've only been here for 3 months. I haven't been a part of how all this is unfolded.
Right.
All right.
I can share if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
Rick hasn't been here enough, and we can't change the past, but I will share with you, Rick does listen, and he does hold people accountable, and that's important to me too, and we all have to be professional, and if people aren't professional, they need to be held accountable, and Rick is very respecting of that going forward. Okay. But we have to follow proper chain of command as well. That if the manager is challenging, you go to VP. If VP is not working, HR is here to guide.
Okay.
If there's a problem, I bring it to Rick's attention.
If you feel that if someone's trying to drive you crazy, you gotta talk to, say, John. Tell John. Go to John and say, look, this is how you're making me feel. This is how it's happening. This is the impact you're having on me.
Well,
and if he doesn't, hold on. And if he doesn't, and if you don't feel that it's resonating with him and it's not going anywhere, then that's when you said, look, I need to talk to Heather about this because this is how it is. And but talk to him first. Say, look, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be here I want to work for you. I
don't want to work for him. I want to work for the company.
You don't.
I don't want to work under John. I want to work for the company.
Okay,
I have to
but
make that clear because I don't want to work with John.
okay,
I want to work with the
See,
company.
but that's the problem is we're trying to get you back to
That's
the
fine.
role you're
I can
supposed
work
to
under
be.
John, but I don't want to work for John. That's a big difference. I
Okay.
can work under him, but I'm working for the company,
well then,
not for him.
then
That's a big difference as I interpret it.
all right. Well then, why? Then let me ask you then. Why? You know, I just have to say this. I'm going to be really blunt, but people leave jobs for two primary reasons. Do you know what they are?
Yeah.
What?
Stress and useful measure.
No. It's their manager, which is kind of right, and money. Usually, those are the two things.
two.
If you have a bad manager, usually that's the first thing that'll make someone leave. If you have a really good manager and you don't pay as much for whatever reason, a lot of times they'll stick around.
Right.
But if you have a bad manager and you're paying really good money, typically they'll still go. So let me, why? I mean, that is the individual that in this position you have to report to. So why, if you have to report to him, why?
Why? Because I want to see how he can do such thing in the state that we are as a, what do you call that?
Flux?
No, we are, we're not barbaric.
In a team or
No, we have
Civilized?
laws and order.
civilized.
Laws and order.
Okay.
And the great union has policy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to see why or how he can do that, and I don't see the company does anything to him. And I have all the email proof, and and it says that I have to prove more to officially proving that he's guilty of something. I'm trying to change my words so I can understand. So that's my point here. How much more do I need to prove that he's guilty? Okay, if you want, if you have no choice to move it back to the IP, I'm fine. I can live with it. I can work under him.
Okay.
I can start a fresh page with him.
Okay.
Okay. But if he's still, and again, I like cut you off on the part that when if something happened, I address directly to him. The problem is not only him. The problem is every single manager in the IT department, and now Arrow is adding to the team, is mentally attacking, taking their turn, one by one, picking on a subject and attacking me. So it's not just one individual.
Right.
That's the whole problem that I'm getting at.
When that happens, you need to go to John. John is the manager, and say, John, this is how I'm being treated and how I feel that it's not appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then see what he says. And if you feel like you're getting response, all right, then you go to Heather. All right, and then Heather will come to me.
Okay.
All right, so that's how we have to go forward.
Okay, I will do that forward.
But I think you can do wonders for yourself. You pull those two aside and say, I want to please allow me to have a fresh start. I want to be a part of the team. I want to be a part of this, and I would like to. I acknowledge and own some of the problems that have happened here, but I want to go forward with you and because you have to own some of it.
What do you mean own some of it?
Okay, so that all right. So when I say own it is that you gotta. Others have to understand that if you say it's all your fault, what is that going to say? Is it all their fault? If you're saying it's all their fault, they're not gonna believe that you're honest about about it. So
that's the truth.
Okay, but hold on a second. You could say, look, you could say, look, it's things didn't go the way I would have preferred them to go. I would want them to go,
Okay.
And so maybe I could have done things differently. Maybe I could have done things differently so that we're not in this current position. But I would just ask, please give me a fresh start so that we can move forward.
Okay. Can I pause for a second?
Okay.
First of all, I agree on only some of your suggestions or some of your wording.
Okay.
Why should I use the word please asking for a fresh start? If I'm going to talk to them, I'm like, okay, let's get a fresh start.
Okay.
I agree to get a fresh start with you. Now, are you willing to get a fresh start with me? I am not. I am the victim, so why should I beg them to get a fresh start? That does not define anything. Okay.
I understand, Timmy, of how unhappy you are with the given situation. I get it. And I get that before Rick, people at times across the whole organization weren't held accountable, where we're trying more.
Yeah.
We're here to support, and we're here to make sure that everybody's enjoying their work and getting their work done and focusing on the results and moving the credit union, to a better place. Going forward, if something comes up, we want to follow the chain of command. Like Rick said, reach out to me, I'll reach out to Rick, okay? We'll support and assist.
Yeah.
But we've got to find a way to work together and make it better.
Yeah.
And if it comes to a point where you're like, you know what, it's just not for me, I'm not happy, I don't want to do that, that's what we're trying to do, is help support you as well. As well, maybe there's something else we could do, because you're either happy going to work, or maybe there's something better that you'd be happier at. And so they're just recommendations that we're recommending to help you.
Okay. So, and please, I'm not saying that you need to say anything. I'm just trying to like help. I'm trying to say, look, I think that this is a way to create a relationship, restart it.
Here's some ideas.
But you don't have to do anything that I said. There's not an assignment. It is not anything other than a suggestion to maybe help. And if you want to come back to me and say, well, what about this, or what about that? How about if I try this? Come back to me and I'll see what I can do. All right, to help. But my goal, look, ideally, in a perfect world, it would be you could go back. They say, all right, we're back on board. We're going to get going. We're going to move forward. And we get ready. We're all back together and moving forward and really focusing on being a credit union, because it's just so challenging nowadays. It's more challenging than ever before, and that would be a great scenario. And I don't see that really kind of playing out right away, but maybe over time, you never know. Time heals all. Time heals. So maybe that's so. All right. Okay.
So bottom line, if I still receive anything that I think that they are attacking me, and I will follow the proper procedure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if that's a manager? What if that's John is? Okay, let's just say that he gave you a vague answer again.
Right.
Okay. So what am I going to do with that?
Okay. You're going to say, I still don't understand.
I did. I asked him several times.
Okay. Then you go to Charlie, or just say, well, would you please, if you don't understand, then you go to, really Charlie, really is the next step,
right.
And say, Charlie, please, I need to understand what I'm supposed to do here.
Okay.
And and then at that point, then if they both are bad, then whatever, you don't feel comfortable with that, then you go to Heather.
Okay.
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 The biggest thing is we want to make sure that you're better off talking to them, okay? Because sometimes with emails they go back and forth, and the communication is possibly not producing the results or the clarity, because we're seeing that. You're saying there's no clarity.
Okay.
So in other words, going forward, just have a conversation with them and say, look, can you please explain more clear? Right. Maybe I can take a note of, okay, you want this, this, and this.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So good luck. I mean, it's I think that you never know. There might be a way around, to work this through so that we are to that nice path where we're all working together and working on, making things happen.
I want to believe that.
I don't know, like, is there a way that you could, offer that olive branch?
I'm sorry, what does that mean?
Olive branch means the peace. Like, it's a peace offering. Like, so for instance, is there an act or a gesture that you think would go a long way? Like, maybe if you simply, maybe, sometimes this sounds weird, but let's just say you brought in donuts one time.
Okay.
To say, hey, look, you know what? I went out and picked us up some donuts and some coffee. It's on me, guys. I want to try this again. At least in, I think, if I were a John or a Charlie and I saw that, I would take notice. Or if I were to do an act of just being kind and nice, that you might put yourself exposed a little, you feel a little exposed to it. They might say, whoa, wait a minute, that's Timmy? And they might look at you differently. Think about that. Once again, not a requirement, but if I were, trying to get back into a department, right, and I showed up the first day with something different, something that it's not typically me, to say, hey, it really is me trying to be different. You might find them, you might see them treat you differently. Something to consider.
Oh yeah, I understand that point.
Okay.
But let me ask you, in reality, maybe this has to be related, maybe it's very related to the story. So in reality, you're in a way, I kind of inspired. Let's just say that, I'm just saying, okay? Let's say that it's clearly that a victim, okay? Maybe two friends, and one of the guy is obviously a victim, and it's officially, what do you call that, pleaded or indicted or whatever that is? Yeah. Like you are officially being, the judge announced that you are
convicted.
So let's just say that the guy's convicted, and so you're telling the victim, like to start over. So the victim will have to come over, hey, let's start over. I bought you $10.
Mm-hmm.
And the victim has to take, forget the past, forget our pain and stuff like that.
Okay.
And the other guy is like, in his mind, like, see, I can treat you like trash, and okay, I can start over with you. That's no problem.
Well, now here's the difference: is that he has been convicted, not a problem, and you see yourself as a victim, and I'm not there yet, because I haven't seen everything to the point where I'm saying, yeah, you're really truly a victim. I see this as, there's been differences, and maybe that you just need to, you need to work through, because who has the most to gain out of this?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay, I want you to think about that a little. I'm not going to give you the...
What do you mean by gain?
The gain. Who has the
gain
most?
what?
The gain.
In terms of what? Gain what?
Yeah.
Like experience or what?
I'm going to say sanity. You've been telling me that you've been going to see a psychiatrist, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's a pretty serious situation.
Yes.
How nice would it be to be able to come to a job where you actually enjoy being there? That would be a big gain, wouldn't it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Simple question.
That's a half and half game, depending on the situation. Let's just say that yes at first, okay, but then you're still hold a grudge, saying, you come into your job, you're happy and stuff like that, and then maybe later you think, okay, so everything's happy, I'm happy now, but why am I still feeling like I lost something, and there's no, I want some sort of payment.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like money payment, but
right.
I understand. I'm thinking of two. Let me just share two quick examples. Let's say you have a family or you have a spouse and you may disagree, or somebody gets in an argument. Mm-hmm. Whoever's fault it is, you still live with each other and you still have kids, and you got to work it out somehow. One might like red roses and the other one wants yellow, and so maybe the yellow is the color for the week and the other person missed it and they were wrong. Mm-hmm. But one way or another, you've got to come together and say, you know what, maybe we need to go with green roses. We can all agree with that, and live in the same household together. Departments kind of work the same way. They kind of got to work together. And sometimes, any organization, like Rick had said, manager just may not be, it just doesn't work. Or, people work together and they just don't fit. And that's one reason people do change work, is if it doesn't fit, why put yourself through that where people can be, better off in a different situation. So that's why we're saying there are options for you, and they're just recommendations.
Yeah, and I'd like you to see, it'd be nice for me to, at least to see you come in and enjoy your job and enjoy being here and enjoy working with people, because it's not just jobs, it's relationships. It's not, if we were all robots, then it wouldn't be right. It's relationships, and those have to be taken just as serious as the job that we're doing. And that's why I'm saying that it would be, you'd have a big, it'd be a big win for Timmy if you, like, hey, you're telling your wife, I'm looking forward to going to work today, and I think that would be a great scenario. And if there's anything, any technique or not even technique, anything I can do to help you, build those relationships back, I'm going to do that. And But there's going to be a point where you got to say, you know what? It's going to drive me crazy. It's just not for me. And but hopefully that's not the case. We can see what we can do.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I guess look for further direction from Heather on, and when you're going to actually report back into John. It's probably going to be as early as next week, right? I mean, we need to talk to Tom.
Right.
He's here this week still.
Right.
Talk to Tom and get and then you move back into IT, and we'll be very sensitive to see how things are going and making sure that things are good.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. Well, we gotta get on the call here. So.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Charlie.
I'll bring this back to you for you.
Okay. All right.